Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and welcome back to another fun little sexy episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you all on this wonderful little Tuesday. Oh my gosh, someone get me a gun and that groundhog because it's supposed to blizzard tomorrow. Girl, please, my mental health cannot take any more snow. Like, we are suffering enough. We need a break. The girls need a break. My God. Anyways, it is Valentine's week, you guys. So we have a lot to talk about, okay? Some prep, some things to go over. Speaking of, today is Tuesday, and I just uploaded a cutesy little fun Valentine's Day recipe. If you don't know what to do with your lover, you like sweet treats and a fun little activity, highly recommend. They are chocolate dipped strawberry cheesecake bars. What? Yeah, the ultimate munchy food. Now, in the video, PSA for all my bakers out there, basically you have to let the cream cheese warm up enough that it mixes well. I was in a rush. I had a little Galentine's thing to get to. We'll talk about that in a second. So I did not let it warm up completely. I don't mean microwave. I don't mean like stick it in the oven, warm up. Genuinely, just put those blocks of cream cheese on your counter as soon as you get home from the store or as soon as you're about to bake, and leave them there for about an hour to 2 hours. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, girl, I'm going to get food poisoning. Trust, you will not. You will be safe, and it will just make the cream cheese bars so much more creamy and decadent. If you look at my video, it's a little chunky. It's not like bad. Like, I literally have devoured half the pan. Fantastic. It's more of like a texture thing than it is a taste thing. They're gonna taste good no matter what. But I figured I'd give a little PSA to the girls. Listen, you like cooking tips and tricks. Let me give you the real shit. Let me tell you the real shit. And if you ever are like, how the fuck do I make this? In every single one of those videos that I make, in the caption, I give a detailed explanation of how the fuck to make these recipes that I'm making, okay? So you will not miss a single step. The only comments I've gotten that have been like, these didn't turn out how I wanted. I'm like, well, did you follow the recipe? And to be fair, I've only gotten one of those comments, so it is what it is. I made really good buffalo wings, though, for my last recipe, and someone was like, don't wash your chicken. It spreads bacteria. You're so right, queen. I don't wash my chicken unless they're wings. When it comes to wings, if you give them a really good rinse and, like, obviously disinfect every single fucking surface afterwards. Like, don't just rinse them out and then leave the chicken juices in your sink, girl. We got to clean up, but if you give them a really good rinse and then you pat them dry with a paper towel, that's how you get those really decadent crispy wings. So crispy that when you like have leftovers eventually, I promise you will, and you put them in the fridge, and even 2 days later you take them out of the fridge and pop them in the microwave, they will still be crispy. That's how you get that good chicken. Trust me. Listen, I've been cooking for, honestly, since I came out of the womb. I was the youngest child, so my parents were like just busy constantly. I mean, they were public school educators. Like, girl, they didn't have time for me. They were clocked in, and even when they weren't clocked in, like, they were going above and beyond for their students. So I'd be like, what are we eating for dinner, or whatever Hannah makes. Trust me, I know how to cook good food, all right? But I love you all, and if you need a fun little something to do with your lover or to make your lover, highly recommend. These are fantastic. My boyfriend has been devouring these every single night. So yeah, I made these for a little Galentine's get together. One of my big goals this year, I realized last year I kind of like did nothing. And not like did nothing. Of course, I had my achievements. I worked on this podcast. I elevated my career. I hung out with friends here and there. But when I mean did nothing, I just didn't take every opportunity I had to spend time with the people I loved, or just like get to know people, get out of my house, you know, things like that. So this year, a big challenge of mine is just to like say yes to get together opportunities. Like, fuck it. What do you have to lose? Girl, put on a cute outfit and like go chit chat with some people and have a good time. You know, you were invited for a reason. So one of my really good friends that I honestly haven't seen for like a year, we live in the same city, just life got fucking out of control. She was like, yeah, I'm doing a little Galentine's get together. I'd love to have you. It's a potluck. Bring a little something. So yesterday, which was Sunday, I'm filming this a little early, but on Sunday we had a Galentine's get together, and listen, I was nervous. I know it sounds like I come off very like forward in a good way, like in a self-confident way. I seem very extroverted, but genuinely on the outside I am a very introverted individual. Of course, I can flip a switch and turn into an extroverted person. We love being a Gemini, but genuinely, like deep down in my soul, I am a introvert. I like to spend time with the people that I know and be comfortable and be indoors. But I understand that like that's not the healthiest place for me to be in. Sure, it's great, but girl, we got to grow and expand and meet people. So I was like, fuck it, you know, like let's go. Let's go see some girlies. Let's go hang out. Let's go have a good time. Let's go make some fun food and enjoy some time together. And she is the sweetest fucking host ever. I pulled up, the house is full of hotties, like the baddest girls ever. There's crafts, there's dinosaur chicken nugget, chicken and waffles, and cream cheese pastries. And one thing about girls, we will provide and we will always have a good fucking time. Someone made like fresh pressed green juices and brought mimosas and brought a handmade, hand decorated strawberry like cake. Girl, they were going above and beyond. It was incredible. And then she brought craft supplies so we all could just hang out together and make our own little Valentines. Girl, my Valentine came out so fucking cute. But like, girls are amazing. I love girls, and I'm so thankful to like have been thought of. Like, oh my god, I had such a fun time. And I showed up only knowing one person when there was like 15 people there. And you know, going into kind of like unknown territories, my anxiety condition will truly make me overthink every single thing possible until I get there. As soon as I get to that anxiety inducing thing, really all of the anxiety goes out of the window. I feel like I kind of hype myself up in a sense where it's like I'm fear mongering a little bit, like, oh, well, what if they don't like you? Or what if you're not wearing the right thing? Like, things not based in reality. Obviously, I'm just genuinely stressing myself out for no reason. But as soon as you get to the anxiety inducing thing and you just face that fear head on, you will immediately get over it. You will realize, wow, I was really letting my fear control me, and this thing was good for me. I had a great time. So if you need, you know, a boost of confidence to get out of your comfort zone, to get out into the real world, to spark up that conversation with a stranger, to throw that Galentine's event, this is your sign to do so every single time. It's so funny. You know, pattern recognition skills, we got to work on those. You know what I mean, babe? But every single time I'm like, I'm scared. I don't wanna. And then as soon as I do it, I'm like, wow, why was I afraid? I had a great time. So this year, I'm really going to try and stop letting that kind of like socially awkward fear hold me back, because genuinely I was like, okay, maybe I'll go for like an hour, and then I was there for 3 hours. It was such a good time. Thank you so much to my friend Hannah. She is just the ultimate host, the ultimate girl, and I love her endlessly. I just had a blast smoking joints with the girls, making Valentines, drinking fresh pressed juice, eating dinosaur nugget waffles. Like, literally, what is better than that, honestly? Anyways, that was a great way to celebrate Sunday. And then also it was the Super Bowl. I am a Kansas City resident, of course. So Chiefs fan, question mark? I don't know. I feel like whenever you live in a certain city, you're kind of then born a fan, you know, wherever you grow up. So of course, like Chiefs fan, I guess, adjacent. Listen, let's get fucking real here. We just won 2 Super Bowls. Winning another one, kind of greedy of us, kind of greedy for us. So I was just going into it like, you know, whoever wins, we'll have a great time. But low key in the back of my brain, in the very back of my brain, you can call me a fake fan for this, honestly true, I don't really give a fuck, I was like, if I had to put $1 million down on any sort of bet, like if I was a brain dead man who was into sports betting, I would absolutely bet on the Eagles. You could tell they wanted it. They wanted it. And there's a kind of like gusto that Philadelphia fans have that is kind of admirable, where it's just like blank confidence. And I think that is genuinely something that we all need to pick up a little bit, just like that forward momentum, that desire, that want, that need. It's inspiring. It is inspiring. And you know, whatever team that goes into the Super Bowl that has that kind of like gusto, that's the one that I'm like, yeah, they're probably gonna win. And they wanted it. They truly wanted it. Last year, me and the girls spent about an hour going around the city trying to find somewhere to watch the football game, and we ended up at Green Room Burgers, which is attached to the Improv Comedy Club. Honestly, great little small place. If you are in the Westport area and want a very chill hole in the wall bar, highly recommend. The owners there are two little sweetie pies. You know, they do jazz nights, really great. And somehow we stumbled in there, had the best burgers of our life, really cheap drinks, and had a great Super Bowl last year. So me and my friend ended up there this year as well. Wasn't packed, had a great time, pretty much the entire bar to ourselves. And even though it was brutal to get through simply because 0 points for the Chiefs the first entire half, you know, we had a good time. It was great. Simply just spending time with people you love and being passionate about something, you know, you can pick up on the energy and have a good time. And then the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. If you thought it was bad, you just don't fucking get it. And I'm so sorry for you. I think you need to go back and take some sort of history course, maybe a good 7th, 8th grade. We can start there. But like, wow, that is exactly what we needed during this time. Especially like, that man, I'm not even going to say his fucking name, but him being there. And, you know, I feel like we did kind of need a performer that was kind of going to call that bullshit out and had not only the artistic talent to do so, the creative ability to do so, and also just like the fucking balls to do so. Kendrick Lamar was perfect. It was a great halftime show. The message was well received, heard loudly. Oh my god, that is what happens when you are a healed Gemini man. I was raised by a healed Gemini man, and I recognize that kind of just like power within him, where it's like, listen, unhealed Gemini men are the devil. They are. If you're dating a Gemini man and he starts giving you any sort of trouble, girl, run as fast as you can, because they are evil. But a healed Gemini man is a hardworking, talented, extremely passionate man, especially when it comes to kind of like spitefulness. I'm a Gemini. I do think I run a lot of my passion off of spite. Listen, whatever kind of emotion empowers you and gets you pushed into a positive direction, no hate. Listen, as long as you are getting the job done, we love that. And Kendrick Lamar did just that. He is a incredibly talented individual. I remember growing up in high school and listening to his To Pimp a Butterfly album, like smoking weed in the backseat of my best friend's car, going to like, you know, random house parties. I was talking about this with my boyfriend as well. Sorry, a little tangent here. Kids nowadays will not understand the freedom of what it was for us to grow up. And genuinely, I am so thankful to grow up in the era where I could listen to Pimp a Butterfly in the backseat of my friend's car, smoking weed, going to a random Snapchat address that we had no idea where or whose it was. We were just going to pull up and find out what kind of party was going on. That can't happen anymore. I feel like kids nowadays aren't going to have that, not freedom, but like they're not going to have, everything's tracked, everything is watched, everything is known, and that is just, it's kind of spooky. It's very spooky in a sense. And I think a big reason that I turned out how I am is because we had that freedom to kind of sneak off, to get crazy, to, you know, take risks. And I mean, were they the best risks ever? No. Were they the smartest risks ever? No. But they were a great, great time for like adolescent me. And yeah, I was talking to my boyfriend. He kind of grew up in a rural area where shit like this didn't happen. But I was like, you never, you know, just like randomly were hitting people up for Addies on a Saturday night, crawling out of your best friend's basement window, and then just like randomly pulling up to these addresses hoping that they weren't shut down by the cops yet? No, you didn't do that? Okay, well, like, that's what I spent my high school years doing. And yeah, being able to also like listen to all these great albums while doing so, I'm genuinely so thankful for my adolescence and just the great time I had. But yes, Kendrick Lamar, fantastic, amazing, great halftime show. If you thought it was too woke, girl, are you even fucking paying attention to what's happening? I dare you all to get woker. Please, I'm begging. You all need to get woker. ASAP, please. What do you mean? He left the game and he tweeted out, we need to get rid of pennies. Girl. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. We're here to have a good little lovely fantastic time. It's Valentine's Day week. We gotta spread the love, we gotta spread the joy to each other, and that is exactly what I'm gonna be doing. This week is busy for me, very, very busy. Like I said in my last episode, me and my boyfriend don't really celebrate, and this is my choice, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day, because working in the service industry, I understand the Valentine's Day experience that you will have at a restaurant, and it is not going to be the ultimate experience ever. Like, I know as a server, I will be clocking in on Friday. Like, listen, you're going to get what you're going to get, because we are going to be slammed. The kitchen is going to be stressed. They're going to be screaming at each other. They're going to be pumping out dishes as fast as they possibly can. And the best dish that you're going to eat ever in your entire life is not the one that is made as fast as possible. Let's be fucking real here. I will not be able to provide the ultimate best service I can, because I'm going to be overworked. So, knowing that, I don't like going out on Valentine's Day. We usually do the day before or maybe the weekend after. This year, we're going to be doing the day before. All I asked for was chicken parm. I want to go somewhere. I want to eat chicken parm. I want to have a little drink. I want to go home. Simple. All right. But I am working a little bit more this week. Just make a little extra money. Who can complain about that? Working Valentine's Day. And then, yeah, celebrating with my boyfriend on Thursday. We'll probably do gifts on Friday. So then it's like, actually, let's acknowledge the day. You know what I mean? At least do something the day of. But yeah. I think we're also going to go to the art museum. Going to the art museum is such a underrated activity to do with your lover. Kansas City is amazing for many different ways, but most importantly, we have a incredible art museum that is free. That's how all art museums should be, in my opinion. Listen, if we have these rich ass fucking billionaires collecting art, you might as well put it in a museum and make it free for everybody else to look at. Like, that is the very least you can do. And I'm so glad that Kansas City provides that for us. The Nelson Atkins is fantastic because not only is it free and full of amazing art, but it's full of like really great free classes and opportunities for children, for adults. They'll do like get-togethers, things like that. And it's great for just spending time there and looking at beautiful art with your lover. Like, what is better than that? Come on now. So I believe we'll probably be doing that Thursday as well. Danger has one more checkup from the vet. We are going to make sure he is fully healed this time. I think he's just a constipated king, and I gotta get him going a little bit more often than he usually does. So one more vet checkup, get that one out of the way, and then yeah, hopefully go into the weekend and just have a chill, relaxing weekend after the hecticness of this next week. Blizzarding on Wednesday. Oh my god. I honestly really hope like we get one last snow in and that's it, and then we have spring and then a hot ass summer. I love a hot ass sweaty summer and I cannot wait. I'm holding on to hope. Please A fucking groundhog. What do you mean 6 more weeks of winter? Girl, every year I feel like it's always 6 more weeks of winter. Can the girls catch a break? Come on. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling. You're like, girl, shut up. Answer my question. I hear you. Don't worry. You guys have a lot on your minds. We got a lot to go over. So let's see what you guys got going on, and let's dive right into all of your questions. You guys, also this Valentine's week, we have a full moon, February 12th, Wednesday, February 12th. It is a full snow moon, which, hello, right on time. We are supposed to have a blizzard on Wednesday, but it is a full moon in Leo. Leo, the sign of drama, the sign of theatrics, the sign of confidence. Could be good, could be crazy. Let's get into what to expect this week. I love a Leo full moon. I do. I think it can bring a lot of drama to our lives if there's a lot that we haven't handled or we're kind of getting fed up or tired. It really just pushes us into that like main character role that I think is very important. It forces us to kind of like take a good look at our lives and realize, wow, we are in control. We are the main characters. We know what we're deserving of. We know what we need. We know what we're fucking fed up with. And I fear we have no choice but to make some changes and go after everything we desire. Like I said, that can bring a lot of drama. Tempers can rise if we feel like we are in a point in our life that is just not where we're supposed to be, or we are like being given a certain energy that is not meant for us. We can meet that with some tension a little bit. So please be aware of your coping mechanisms to lower the drama and the chaos, and understand the best main character is one that is calm, cool, and collected, not the one blowing up their life. That is not what you need during this time. Now with the sun in Aquarius and the Leo full moon, we have a kind of like alternating energy where the Leo full moon wants us to focus on us, but the sun in Aquarius is also wanting us to kind of like focus on outpour to others. So you might be pulled in two different directions and kind of asking ourselves like, is it okay to focus on me? And I would like to emphasize now more than ever that yes, it is okay to focus on you. It's okay to get a little bit selfish. It's okay to know what you want and you need and not settle for less. With the Leo full moon and egos and tempers rising, though, I want to make it clear that like inviting chaos into your life and blowing things up is not the way to get to where you want to go. Instead, being calm, cool, collected, being aware of your desires and your needs and going after them head on, but in a chill, understanding manner is the best way to really get truly where you want to go. Rather than being like impulsive and chaotic and spontaneous, take a step back, truly look at where you want to be, where you are, what you are accepting, what your boundaries are. Take accountability of your life and ask yourself, now how the fuck do I get to where I want to go? Use that fiery power to push yourself into the right direction, instead of letting that fiery power blow up your life. This will be great during Valentine's Day when people are really showing their true colors and showing you like their love for you. Is it what you need? Is it what you want? Is it what you desire? If not, girl, time to move on. Use that ego to power you in the right direction. I love you. Someone just said, I love love. Me as fuck, girl. I feel that. Listen, I used to be a hater against myself, most importantly. So whenever Valentine's came around, I was always like, oh, I'm just single and I hate Valentine's Day because I'm suffering, so everyone else should suffer. Girl, what the actual fuck? Let's stop thinking about you for a second and let's think about everyone else around you. Simply defining Valentine's Day as single or not single, yeah, you're gonna be miserable. So sorry. You're gonna have an awful time, definitely. But like, Valentine's Day is about love. love for self, love for world, love for neighbor, love for partner, love for family, love for friends. What do you mean you don't have love in your life? Get it the fuck together, girl, and open your eyes and look around you, okay? Especially now more than ever. I talk about love as a form of protest. Absolutely. We need to be giving love to each other now more so than ever. And I think love is like a radical act of like defiance. When I was going through the hardest times of my life, love didn't exist in my brain. It was hatred for myself, hatred for the world around me. I was overconsumed by my depression, my anxiety, my slew of mental health issues, illnesses, whatever you want to call them. I could not see love. And finally something clicked in my brain and I realized you're going to have to choose this. Yes, you're going to have to force it. You are going to have to love yourself. You are going to have to learn to find love in the world, to find love in yourself, to find love in the people around you, or else you're going to die. You're gonna die, bitch. Like, you got to get it together. And as soon as that clicked in my brain, listen, it was not an easy transition. Having to like force love upon yourself feels very awkward and weird and kind of like the newborn stage, but you're fucking 18 and you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like a wobbly deer or a wobbly horse just getting pushed out of the womb. Like, woof, we're learning to stand again. You know what I mean? It's going to feel weird and awkward at first, but as soon as that lesson clicks in your brain, ultimately it made my life so much more comfortable. And even through the hardships, even through the crazy, batshit crazy fucking times that I had, I was always okay. I was okay. I made it through them. I saw the light. I persevered. I got better. I did better. I did more because of love. And simply defining Valentine's Day as single or not single, girl, open your eyes. We have to provide more for ourselves. We have to show love to the people around us, especially when we live in a world that wants us to hate ourselves and hate the people around us so much. Like, please, if you're going to give into one thing this week, let it be love. And I think a great like little form of homework for you all is just, who needs love in your life right now? Is it you? Do you need a little bit of self-love? Do you need to show yourself a little bit of TLC, a little bit of care? This is your sign to do it. That's your homework for the week, girl. You better buy yourself a good meal, sit down, watch your favorite movie, like maybe do a face mask, whatever your form of self-love is. Do it, okay? Maybe you have a friend that's going through a really, really hard time and you're like, oh shit, I haven't reached out, but I know she's struggling. Show her some love. Show up for her. Send her a really nice text. Tell her, thank you for being in my life. Maybe it's your partner. You've realized, wow, we've kind of grown distant and we're not as close as we used to be. And I want to bring that spark back. And I really just want to show them appreciation. Life's gotten crazy. We've gotten swept up in work. Like, we gotta remember why we're here. Show your partner some love, girl. Give him a blowjob and make him a good meal. I mean, obviously he should be doing the same for you. Of course. Give and take. But maybe it's your parents. You've realized I've kind of, not taken advantage of, but really just negated the situation for what it is. And they've always shown up for me. They've always rode for me. We've had our ups and our downs, but ultimately they have always supported me. Show up for them. Show them a little bit of love. That is your homework for this week. And I guarantee you, as soon as you do one act of radical love this week, you will feel so much better. You will feel so much better about yourself, about the world around you. You will realize that there is hope to be gained from these acts, from these experiences. I think it's really, really beautiful. I think love is so beautiful. And that's why I literally have it tattooed on me, girl. Last year, about this time, I got "with love" tattooed on me because I realized just how impactful making every step of your life and doing it with love is. And yeah, if you're going to learn one lesson from me this week, let it be move with love, act with love, speak with love, give love, just love. Just love. Lobotomy, just love. We live, laugh, love. Listen, the white millennials were on to something. You're so right. Live, laugh, love, girl. Definitely. Help, my situationship doesn't want to do anything for Valentine's Day. Ooh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. That means he wants nothing to do with you. And I really hate to break that news to you. It's not because he's a man and he just doesn't get Valentine's Day. He doesn't get the importance of it. He just doesn't understand. No, babe. He just doesn't like you. And he doesn't want to do romantic things with you. If your boyfriend does not want to celebrate Valentine's Day with you, it's genuinely not because he's a man and he doesn't get it. No. No, when someone's in love, they want to be romanced and give romance. A real lover will do that no matter of their gender. And it's not a you problem. There's not a specific way that you need to behave in order for him to do these things for you. There's not something wrong with you. Oh, why won't he? Why won't he? Because he's a piece of shit. Not because you are and you're not deserving, because he is. So please leave that man in the fucking dumpster where he belongs. Also, PSA, if your boyfriend doesn't get you anything for Valentine's Day, if he doesn't celebrate Valentine's Day with you, if he doesn't even buy you flowers, bitch, I went to the grocery store. I bought flowers for my friend who was hosting the Galentine's Day brunch. $11. If he doesn't have the brain cell it takes to simply stop by the grocery store on the way home to you and spend $11 on flowers for you, then he does not give a fuck about you. Genuinely. And I do think a lot of people break up on Valentine's Day for this reason, where it's like, maybe they will. Do they love me? Oh, Valentine's Day, it's a day of love. They'll actually see me for who I am. They'll actually provide for me. They'll actually show up for me. And then they don't. And I think that truly is like the universe revealing people's true selves. And I love holidays for that reason, especially a love holiday, because sometimes we need that eye-opening moment of like, why the fuck do they not care about me? And do I want someone in my life that doesn't care about me? Stop it with the self-harming behaviors and dating men that hate you. Stop dating your biggest ops. Please start dating people who are so madly in love with you. They want to show love with you. They want to be with you. That is what you're deserving of. Do not give pussy or any energy to a man who can't even buy you $11 flowers on Valentine's Day. Oh my God, please stand up. I'm begging. Do you have tips for feeling sad because you've never had a boyfriend or serious relationship? Listen, I was your age at one point in time. I was the last person in my friend group to lose my virginity. I was the last person in my friend group to have a boyfriend. I feel like I was behind the entire time. And I think that mindset will rush you into situations that are genuinely not good for you just because you're like, I want to get it over with. I wish I would have taken more time. I think the one thing young women can do for themselves that is so important is be overly selfish and de-center relationships and men, period. There's not a lot of good guys out there when we're young, okay? Not that all men are evil or whatever bullshit. Of course, be safe, but we're so young and we're getting to know ourselves, and we honestly don't know anything about ourselves. We're learning through the world around us. We're sometimes bad people to ourselves or other people. And I think getting your brain mixed up in the whole relationship bullshit and feeding after male attention is just such a waste of youth. It is. And I understand feeling sad because I've been there, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, don't feel that way, because your feelings are definitely valid. And I do think society puts a big pressure on, being young and in love and these romantic adventures and things like that. But if I'm being dead serious, I think you're one of the lucky ones. I do. I think you're one of the lucky ones. The best thing you can truly do in this day and age, especially if you're in your young 20s, is just be overly selfish and focus on you. The right person, if you are solely focused on what you desire and what you need in life, the right person will fall in like a puzzle piece. Absolutely. And I kind of, when I was younger, had no one that was older that could have told me that. So, of course, I settled for these shitty men just because I wanted to lose my virginity, or settled for these shitty men just because I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted to feel love. And if you really want to feel that amazing, romantic, like movie type of love, you got to be picky. You do. You got to be picky, you got to be patient, and you have to put yourself first. Love is everywhere. And like I said, Valentine's Day, it's not just about romantic like love. Oh, I'm single, so I'm sad. Oh, I'm in a relationship, so I'm happy. Show yourself some love this Valentine's Day. That's what you need. If you're sad because you're not in a relationship, girl, remind yourself, I can give myself everything I want. I can give myself my favorite meal. I can give myself, an hour to myself at the end of the night to watch my favorite movie, to go pull out my Hitachi wand and experience pleasure with myself, to, maybe buy myself that new pair of shoes that I worked hard for and I know I deserve. I would challenge you, especially this week, if you're feeling a little more sad than usual, to do those things. Take yourself out on a date. Do those self-care things, those self-love things. Now more than ever, I think it's really, really important. But your feelings are valid. I do hear you. And I'm so sorry that society does kind of put that pressure on young people falling in love. I don't think it's that easy. And I don't want you to kind of find yourself in a situation that is going to be more harmful than good just because you wanted to rush it. I think you're in the exact place that you're supposed to be. And what you need now is just a little bit of love for yourself. I love you. There's people around you that love you. I know you love yourself. Uplift that feeling. Ooh, freaky tips for Valentine's Day. All right, girls, it's time. It's time. I love the sex episodes. If I could have a sex only podcast, would be very fun, but I understand, like, sometimes we need a break. Me too, girl. Even in the real world, I'm like, I can't fucking think about sex right now. Let's switch it up with maybe some like mental health talk or a silly little laugh. It doesn't always have to be about sex. So I'm glad that we can do our little sex segment every once in a while on this podcast. But when it comes to Valentine's Day, dare I say the freakiest day of the year, I think probably the most sex happens on Valentine's Day. That's why 8 months later, you see a spike in children. In fact, if I'm doing the math right now, I'm pretty sure my boyfriend's birthday is in 8 months. Like, he is a Valentine's Day baby. Freakiest day of the year. Who can complain about that? You know what I mean? And honestly, I love sex. I love sex. I think sex is so important. I think intimacy is so important. Intimacy has been lost in this day and age. In the situationship era, in the friends with benefits, just fleeing one night stand era. Like, girl, he's not making you come looking you in the eyes or saying please or thank you or giving you a cuddle afterwards. We are turning into fleshlights and we cannot be fleshlights anymore. But like, I'm begging you, please, intimacy is so important. I think respect really enhances intimacy. I think, desire to provide pleasure for your partner really enhances intimacy. I think a good conversation beforehand enhances intimacy. I think boundaries and rules and understanding what is good and what's not good during sex is intimacy. Being honest with each other is intimacy. These are important things. These are very, very important things. And a lot of good sex happens like days, weeks, months before the sex actually happens. And we need to get that through our brains. Foreplay is the lived experience with that person before you guys even touch each other. Foreplay's been lost, girl. What happened to flirting? What happened to light touching? What happened to the romanticization of it all? What happened to you pulling out my chair for me at dinner? Like, what happened to you being a gentleman? These things are important. That's how you get that real freak nasty experience. Okay, so mentally, physically, make sure that intimacy is uplifted and supported. Now, when it comes to the mechanics of it all, my plan this week is, if my lingerie gets delivered on time, I kind of messed up and Definitely did not order that on time. My bad. Hopefully it is here. I bought a really cute, this is kind of something I do for me, not only for me, but for my partner. I love like having a little lingerie collection. It's really great. Like if me and my boyfriend are going out to dinner, I love just like throwing on a 2-piece set. What feels better than that? What makes you feel sexier than that? It's like a cute little, ooh, like I know what I have on under here, but do you? Like just wait until you find out as well. I love it. It's so sexy. I love lingerie. I feel like it's a great way to just make yourself feel beautiful, have a fun little secret. Hee hee. And also like you look super fucking hot. So I bought like a 2-piece red lingerie set because my boyfriend loves me in red. I have pink, I have black. I was like, all right, red's next. Then I want a teal after that. I feel like teal could be hot and sexy as well. Agent Provocateur is a great place to buy these from. They are doing massive sales right now. I think I ordered mine from Victoria's Secret though. Simple, wherever you find your lingerie, as long as you like it, that's all that matters. But little lingerie 2-piece set, that's where kind of like the foreplay begins. Kind of just like with myself, where it's like I'm feeling sexy, so I'm feeling confident, so I'm feeling good, so I'm gonna get freakier. Period. Give your partner a little flash, but now you gotta wait. You know what I mean? Builds up the antics, builds up the excitement for it all. I think foreplay is important, as in like the romanticization of it all, the romantics, spending time together, going out to dinner, wine and dine, just spending quality time together in general, I think is great foreplay. So definitely doing that. And then like, listen, it's Valentine's Day. Of course you're getting a blowjob. Of course we're gonna be sucking and fucking. Like obviously. So let's go over my you've heard this many a times, but let's go over my blowjob tips. Everybody loves a sloppy blowjob. Everybody does. The sloppier the better. The more noises the better. The more spit the better. I don't know what to say, girl. And I know you're all stoners. So if you have cotton mouth and you go down on a man, you're kind of gonna be stressed for a second because you're like, holy shit, my mouth feels like sandpaper. The best way to kind of build up spit is to get him as far back in your throat as possible. Naturally, that gag reflex will kick in. Naturally, your body will provide more spit. Another hot, sexy way to provide more spit, ask him to spit in your mouth. Literally, I will look my boyfriend in the eyes and I'll be like, my mouth's too dry, spit in my mouth. And it works. It does. Okay, baby girl, chugging that glass of milk. Like, spit in my mouth. And then use that to your advantage. But genuinely, I don't think you need any technique or tips and tricks. Oh, use your tongue this way. Oh, put the entire dick in the back of your throat. No. Genuinely, I think as long as it is sloppy and wet and there's a lot of spit and you're using your hands, that man will come in approximately 15 seconds. Dead ass. Now, if you really want the tips and tricks, I do think you need to use your hands. I'm not like a throat queen. I can't take a 12-inch dick down my entire esophagus. I was just not built that way. I don't think any woman is built that way. If you're a professional sword swallower, sure, fantastic. But I don't think many women are born that way. So I don't think you really need to take the whole dick in your mouth because you have hands. And that's where the spit comes in handy, because your hands aren't dry going up and down with your mouth. They're wet. It feels like an elongated mouth. Men, during that time, they are in outer space floating around. They don't know what's going on. All they know is it feels good. That's all that matters. So use both your hands, literally the same way I'm holding this mic, okay? Use both your hands. If you want to go down and grab the balls, you do that as well. But start slow. Kissing, licking, touching, feeling, and then kind of amp it up where you take a little bit more, you get a little bit sloppier. Fast forward, all of a sudden, both hands, mouth sloppy, mouth noises, sucking, gushing. I guarantee it is game over. Now, here's the thing. Valentine's Day, I don't want him to come from a blowjob because, girl, I want to get fucked. So this is also a pro tip if you're like, I love giving blowjobs, but not for 30 minutes. It's just like, Throwback. Swallowing. If you don't like swallowing, stop sucking him off when he's about to come. And then get on top, or have him fuck you from behind. I usually am like just stopping and I'm like, I want you to fuck me. Period. Easy. Of course. They're like, absolutely, would love to. I would love to do that for you. Also, underrated, 69ing. I think 69ing is a great bonding tool. Yeah, especially if you're like not a blowjob queen and you also want pleasure. It is fantastic. Okay, you're on top, you're doing your thing, he's doing his thing. You can kind of take turns ebbing into the pleasure, getting more pleasure, giving more pleasure. But yeah, even 69ing, I think you can just be like, all right, now it's time to dive into the fun things. Now, like I said, mass influx of babies on Valentine's Day. Please use protection. Please, I'm begging. Protection is not only protection for you, but it's protection for your future. I don't need any Valentine's Day babies from you guys, unless you're like trying, and then props to you. But I'm assuming most of you guys are not trying in this economy. So the best thing you can afford right now is not, oh God, how much does a child cost a year? Probably like what, 20K? 20K a year? Girl, a condom is, I'm taking a wild guess here, $1.50. $1.50 versus 20K a year for 18 years. There's an easy choice there. Make that easy choice, especially on Valentine's Day. Please, I'm begging. But yeah, build up that intimacy. Do something fun and sexy for yourself that makes you feel like hot before getting into, the whole game of it all. Foreplay. Make sure he deserves it. Give pleasure to your partner. Become a blowjob queen for a night. And yeah, have some freak nasty sex and have a great time. And please, no Valentine's Day babies this year. Use protection. I love you. Have fun. There's one thing you need to be doing this Valentine's Day. It's having good sex. Not just sex. Good sex. Also, if he doesn't make you come on Valentine's Day, he doesn't love you. Is it healthy to have sex every time we meet? I'm scared of it just being lust without love. It kind of depends. I don't know. Me and my boyfriend were definitely that way. And just because we were just passionate about each other, like if you're passionate about each other and you enjoy having sex together and it's positive and it's good, like fantastic. Love it. But like, get coffee beforehand. Run an errand. Go to dinner. You have to be doing something outside of the sex. If he is only showing up, or she, anybody, if they are showing up and they show up and immediately have their pants unzipped and you're only having sex and then you maybe cuddle for an hour or they spend the night, but as soon as, it's over, they get up and leave. That is, I don't know, just a sexual relationship. You guys need to be doing something outside of it. But yeah, like if you're like, oh, let's hang out all day and then we end up fucking 3 times during the day, but we're also doing things outside of it, then I feel like there's no problem with that, How to have a good time meeting a man IRL in person for the first time. I don't know. I don't think you have to stress it. If anything, if you are showing up to a first date, it is that man's job to make sure that he is making it the best experience ever for you. It's not the woman's job. And if you're in like a gay relationship or, same-sex relationship, whoever asks the other person out, genuinely, I believe it is their responsibility to kind of take charge and make sure that it's a good experience for the other person. But yeah, if you're meeting a man, if he asks you on a date and you're meeting him for the first time, it is his job to make sure everything's planned, everything is organized. He has your ride figured out. If you want to do that, he has the dinner place figured out. He has after dinner drinks figured out. It's not just, come over to my house so we can sit on my bed and hopefully I can get some pussy. That is not how that shit should go. Ever. I mean, at the very fucking least, go to a coffee shop or something. Like, you can keep it simple. It doesn't have to be a $400 event, but that man is in charge of making sure everything else is planned. If he's like, we should do something, we should hang out, and then he goes, well, what do you want to do? I would hit him with I don't know. Good luck. You figure it out. How bad do you want to see me? How bad do you want me to like you? First impressions are very important. Oh God, help. I need this man to love me. What's a spell to make him fall in love? Girl, I hate to break it to you, but if you have to put witchcraft on this man in order for him to love you, it is not going to be fulfilling love. It will not be fulfilling. It will not be good. Now, I'd be lying if I said I haven't done this. If I haven't done this, I think it's okay to do a little, little love spell here and there. I think it's positive energy, as long as it's not like malicious, as in you're trying to change the way they feel. Then I think it can genuinely work. Like, I would be lying if I said I did not do little love spells for my partner. He knows it. He's happy. He's safe. Okay. Don't come for him. But when you try and do love spells on people who just like don't love you, it's not going to be a fulfilling type of love. You're going to kind of fuck with the balance of the system and maliciously warp how they view you. Where sure, they might fall in love with you, but is it that fairy tale magic love that you're envisioning right now? No. Usually it translates into obsession. Like scary obsession. And I don't need you bringing that kind of juju into your life. So safe to say, if you're even thinking about putting a love spell on someone in order for them to want you, that is your sign. Okay, that is your sign here right now to leave that man in the fucking garbage where he deserves. All right. Now, if you're, in a fun little something, like, okay, we do like each other, the energy's high, I just kind of want to bring the energy up, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's fun. I think it's silly, and I love it. I do. I don't really engage in karmatic witchcraft where it comes to like giving negative energy or changing, like I said, the way the universe is naturally flowing. But I do like a little enhancement every here and there, whether it's protection, luck, money, career, love. I think that's fun, and I think that's what witchcraft is all about. So for me, a couple little fun things that I've done, and something that you can easily do this Valentine's Day, or even like a fun little silly love spell is, and honestly this is perfect because love spells are best performed on Mondays or Fridays, which are like Venus days, and Valentine's Day does fall on a Friday this year. So break out that white candle, douse it in honey to bring sweetness into your relationship. You can also sprinkle it with sugar for extra added sweetness, whatever kind of sweetener you have around. I love honey personally. You can do a little bit of cinnamon for some luck, for spicing up your relationship. Rose quartz, a classic, fantastic. You can place that next to the candle or even stick it on the candle, like in the honey if it's small enough and it'll stick. And then what I like to do is just burn the candle and pray over it and kind of just give thanks to the universe for providing this love for me, to give my wishes and what I'm desiring and pour that into the universe. And usually the universe will hear your wishes and desires and pour that back into you. Another really easy way to do this is you can take rose quartz and literally put it under his pillow at night, so he will have sweet dreams of you. Sometimes I'll take a little bit of like watered down honey and rub it over my heart. I feel like that attracts sweetness to me. You can also do this to your partner if they're a willing participant, where you can take a little bit of honey and write it over their heart, specifically your initial or their initial if it's on you. It's a great, powerful tool. And just a little kind of like, I don't know, I think it's a fun little good luck, good love spell where it's not malicious. You're not changing the free will of anybody. You have a willing participant. Lean into it, especially if you're a witchy girl. Love is so fun, and if you can enhance it in any way possible, why not? In my opinion, why not? But once again, if that man doesn't love you, you putting a love spell on him will only turn him into an obsessed freak. Not in a good way, not in a good way, not in a good way. In a weird, stalkerish, scary way. And I don't want that for any of you at all. Also, oddly enough, I think baking is a really great way to kind of enhance a love spell. Not only are they like ingesting the spell, they're getting something positive from it. You can utilize specific ingredients that will like obviously not only taste good, but work well in a spell. Like I said, honey, sugar, cinnamon, strawberries for sweetness, it's red for love, things like that. Chocolate for desire and decadence. It's really beautiful. And that's why I think my chocolate strawberry cheesecake bars are fantastic for this Valentine's Day. But yeah, love spells. Tale as old as time. The girls always get into witchcraft when it's the love spells. Keep it simple. Simple is always better. And like I said, if that man wants nothing to do with you, he wants nothing to do with you. Thoughts on dating a 35-year-old man as a 22-year-old woman? He needs to be paying for your rent. He needs to be paying for every single dinner. He needs to be paying for everything plus an allowance. Yes, babe. Yep, I've gotten to that point in time because I think too many young women date older men and they are bums. They can't even afford rent. They can't take you out to dinner. They're dating young people because they know the people at their age actually have standards and they can't live up to those standards. So they go younger to people who don't have standards because they know they can fuck around and be bums, and that's just who he is. I can't blame him. You're young. You have no idea of what a real relationship is. So if you're dating an older man, make sure he is providing for you. He's an older man. He has, let's see, 13 plus years of experience on you. He should be able to pay your rent, give you an allowance, take care of you. If he's 13 years older than you, he should absolutely be able to do those things. And if he can't do those things for you, let alone himself, girl, you're better off single. Absolutely. How do you stop contacting your ex once a week even though you know it's bad for your healing? Girl, we need an exorcism. We need an exorcism up in here for you, because when you are engaging in behaviors that warrant a restraining order, we got to seek help for you. We do. We absolutely do. That man's not coming back for you. And you getting on your hands and knees and begging for him is not going to change his mind. Period. Absolutely. So what I need you to do is delete, block, move on. And the best way to get over somebody, and I've said this a million times before, is to get under a new one. You'll realize, wow, the sex is better. Wow, he treats me better. Wow, I can't believe I was hung up on that guy. Get out there, put yourself out there, go get some new dick, and actually dick from a person who likes you, not one who's about to file a restraining order on you. Find someone who matches your crazy. Find someone who, when you text them 10 times a day, they actually respond. Yeah. I'm sure there's something in you that's unhealed that fiends for that attention, or that desire of feeling wanted by somebody who doesn't want you. But we got to break those cycles now, babe. Now get under somebody, go have a good time, go have a fun little fling, go have some crazy freak nasty sex with protection. That's what you deserve. My boyfriend went to a rave I really wanted to go to without me because I didn't have the funds to go. That man does not love you. That man does not love you at all. If me and my boyfriend wanted to go to a concert and he's like, babe, I can't afford it right now. I really want to go, but also it's just, money's tight. It's not in the budget. There's two options. There's two real rational options. Option number one, oh my gosh, you know what? That's so fine. I totally hear you. I won't go either. Maybe we can spend, the evening together, at home. Totally understandable. We'll go to the next one together. No biggie. Now, there's also the part of you who it's like, yeah, I want to go, but my boyfriend can't afford it. That's okay. I'm buying him a ticket. My partner wants to go to a show with me, and I also want to go to that show, and they can't afford the $35, $55 ticket. I'm buying that ticket and we're going together because that's my partner and we have fun together. That man knew you wanted to go to this show together, knew you wanted to spend it with him, knew you were excited about it, knew you couldn't afford it, and said, stay home, brokey. I need you to tell him off Immediately. I mean, it's almost Valentine's Day. He could have easily bought you a ticket and called it an early Valentine's Day present. What do you mean? And he didn't want to spend this exciting thing with you. He wanted you to stay home sad. That is your biggest op. And I know this because I have absolutely been in this position, and I didn't even think twice about it immediately. Oh, cool. Well, I'll buy both tickets and then you can just like grab the next thing that we have to pay for. Very easy. Very easy, very simple, because what? I want to spend time with my partner. This is giving, I don't want to be with my partner right now, so I'm going to let her stay at home sad and I'm going to take off and have fun. Ooh, girl, I would be causing a riot. A riot. About to introduce a boy to my parents for the first time. Help. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Every time I introduce, okay, PSA, if you don't want to introduce him to your parents, like there's always going to be a little bit of fear behind it, because it's like, oh, like we all got to show up on our best behavior. Sure, fantastic. But if you genuinely are like hiding him from them or refuse to let your parents know them, it's because you know you're not dating a good person. And I say this not because I think you're in this position. I think a little bit of anxiety is very, very normal beforehand, But my last boyfriend, I literally, when I say I dated him for 9 months to a year before I let my parents meet him or even know he was alive. Yeah. My parents were like, what? Do you not trust us? Like, do you not want us to be a part of your life? No, it's because I knew he was a piece of shit and embarrassing, and I didn't want to bring him around you guys. Was I aware of that at the moment? No. I just thought like, oh, the timing wasn't right or whatever. Looking back though, genuinely, it was because I was like, this man is a piece of shit and I don't want my parents to know I even spend time around him. Like, I genuinely am hiding him from the people that I love because I know I'm making a wrong decision here. If you're hiding your boyfriend or the man you're seeing from your parents, big red flag. Not from you, from him. You're doing it subconsciously for a reason. Like, literally, I wish I could go back in time and scream that at myself. Like, girl, just leave him alone. You don't actually like him. Like, oh, please, I'm begging. Anyways, no, a little bit of anxiety before is normal. But once again, like, the most pressure should be on him. Like, he should be on his A game. Like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can I do the dishes? Let me bring a bottle of wine or some flowers or something. Thank you for having me. Like, let me be respectful. Let me be all manners on point. With my current boyfriend, I was so excited to introduce him to my parents. I was like, yeah, this is my boyfriend. This is my friend, And he was great. Of course, like, a little anxiety is normal. Absolutely. But, like, it should flow pretty smoothly. I remember when my brother finally brought his wife's parents over to meet my parents. I looked over at him. It looked like he had just been soaked with a hose. He was dripping fucking sweat. Now, I don't know why he was that, scared. It's just because, you got to be on your best behavior, and my parents are crazy. So that he was nervous about what the fuck was going to come out of their mouths. And also he just wanted them to get along because, like, our families are joining together. Like, they were getting married at the time, or like engaged at the time at least. So yeah, that anxiety is normal. Don't worry about it. Don't push it. But also, I would really pay attention to how your boyfriend behaves. Does he take it seriously? Is he respectful? Is he kind? Does he show up not only for you, but the family that he could possibly be a part of? It's important. It truly is. And like I said, if you want to hide him from the world, if you were only seeing him in the darkness, it's for a reason and not a good one. How can I make more adult friends after college? It feels so hard to find people. This is very real. I feel like this is kind of a part of love that we're missing in this day and age. When we were younger and, it was the same people every single year, it was very easy to make friends and meet people. I mean, we're spending 8 hours a day together 5 days a week. You're going to make friends naturally. You're kind of forced to. But when you're an adult and, your time and your choices are up to you, it's kind of like you kind of start fumbling and you kind of like, wait a minute, life's weird now. And it's a odd adjustment period, but I think you'd be surprised how quickly you truly can find friends. First place you can start to look is your work friends, okay? I have had many work friends. I've had many of good relationships with the people I work with. Now, you don't have to be friends with the people you work with. If the people you work with suck, they can just be coworkers. Period. But, if there's that stray person or a couple people or your entire work group is like really good and you have good chemistry and you have so much fun at work, I think it's okay to take that outside of work and like maybe go grab drinks, maybe go do something together. I feel so bad. One of the girls I work with, we were supposed to go to like a live drawing class together, but Danger had another flare up. So I had to take him to the vet instead. And I was like, oh, like that would have been really fun. Next time we should absolutely do that together. I would love to hang out with you outside of work. I think we could be really good friends, like period. I think work is kind of the new school when you're an adult. And like I said, if your coworkers fucking suck, you don't have to be nice to them. You are not forced to be friends with them. But if you're like, you know what? They're great. I love them. It is my old manager's birthday this week, and she texted all of my old coworkers and me in a group chat like, I'm doing my birthday dinner. I feel so bad. It's when me and my boyfriend are supposed to be doing Valentine's Day, so I can't make it, but still I want to show up for her. She's like, I'm doing my birthday dinner and you guys are all my favorite people. I would love to have you there. Work people can be great friends, and like I said, it is the new school. Like, we're forced to spend so much time together. So if you have good chemistry, why not take it outside of work? Speaking of work, if you work in public service, if you see a cool hot girl come into your restaurant, into your coffee shop, into your cute little fun store, into wherever you work, and you're like, I love your vibe, I think we should hang out sometime. So you got to put yourself out there more often than not as an adult to make adult friendships. The friend that invited me to Galentine's Day was somebody I served at my restaurant, and she was just cool as fuck. She's like, I love those jeans. Your vibe's amazing. Like, what's your Instagram? Let's follow each other. I was like, yeah, cool. Let's follow each other. We became habitual story likers or whatever, random DMs here and there. And then randomly she's like, hey girl, what are you doing this weekend? We should go thrifting together. And sure, we don't spend a lot of time together, but it is a very casual adult friendship that I have made, and she's a great person, great human being. I'm very lucky to have found her, and that she had the confidence to simply just be like, hey, you're cool as fuck. Like, can I follow you on Instagram? Like, you have a great vibe, great energy. And like, if I'm being weird, you don't have to say yes, but I feel like I should put myself out there. Fantastic way to make adult friendships. Like, you have to kind of be a little bit awkward in that sort of sense, and be daring to put yourself out there. Now, last but not least, a great way to do adult friendships, that's not like Bumble and all that other stuff, is local community events. Okay, I was about to go to a live drawing class with my friend. If I showed up to that alone and I sat next to a really cool girl, of course, I would spark up conversation. I love your artwork. You're really talented. What's your Instagram? Can I follow you? Like, go down that rabbit hole, chit chat with them, get to know them, maybe hang out alone sometime. Bam, all of a sudden you guys are friends. Local shows. Kansas City has a really, really great punk show scene, and like showing up to local shows, local concerts, local venues, like maybe every other week or every weekend. You could even go alone and just spark up conversation with random people around you, get to know them, go outside into the smoking area and just chit chat. I think the bar scene is great for that, but also you don't have to necessarily be a drinker or a partier to go to these places. I'm really trying to not be so much of a party girl, but still have that party girl aura to me, because I miss the social butterfly aspect of it all. Going back to the back patio and bumming a cigarette off somebody and chit-chatting with someone completely random and spilling your life story to them and them doing the same back to you and kind of trauma bonding, that sort of sense. It's so fun, and it is a fantastic way to make friends. So look for local community meetups, live drawing classes, coffee shop events. My coffee shop just did like a plant swap. You bring in like 2 of your cuttings and you get 2, you trade a little bit. Local shows, your local music scene, I guarantee there is something there. If you're part of the LGBTQ community, look for like maybe protests or meetups or drag events, brunch events. chaperone karaoke nights. Like, find what you're interested in, and naturally the people who are also interested in those things will flock there, and I guarantee you will meet somebody that has the same kind of perspective, mindset, aura as you, and you will make friends. Bottom line here is you gotta put yourself out there. You do. If you're sitting at home and going to work with people you hate and then coming home and then going to work with people you hate and coming home, you're not going to make friends. You're not. You're not opening your bubble, and you're not expanding your world. You're not outreaching to new areas and discovering new people. Your bubble is very small, and it's going to make your world feel very small, and it's going to make your life feel very small. Expand it. I've had the past couple of years really just like having a small world, which is something I really needed because I was coming out of my party girl era, and I just needed a moment to kind of focus on me. But now that I did take that time, I'm realizing my small world's feeling a little more claustrophobic, and I do need to put myself out there more. My boyfriend's such a social butterfly, hanging out with so many people, and it kind of became inspiring for me. I was like, you know what? You're so right. I do need to spark up random conversation with that girl. I do need to hang out with my coworker outside of work. I do need to go to these local community meetups and events. Your life will expand, your world will expand, your friendships will expand. I promise you. Have that courage in yourself, have that courage in the world around you, and people will feel that. They will gravitate towards you. You will find good friendships. Also, like, if you reach out to somebody and they don't respond, adult life and friendships, life gets chaotic. It is what it is. Like I said, my really great friend that I had Galentine's Day with, we see each other probably like maybe twice a year. We run into each other at shows. Am I like, oh, she's not my friend because we don't regularly check up with each other every single day? No, she's still a great person, great individual. I love her endlessly. And like, I recognize life gets crazy sometimes. It is what it is. Take away that pressure that is like childhood friendship of every single day, texting every minute, every hour. Sure, you will find some of those people, but the best way to build those adult friendships is just to understand naturally life flows at its own pace. Flow with it. Don't flow against it. Don't hold people to these weird standards. Be kind, be open, be authentic. Everything will work out. Someone said, I want more merch now. Oh, girl. Oh, girl, I can finally. Okay, you guys, this is so incredibly exciting. I know I've talked, and I can't spill all the beans yet, but I can at least give you a time frame, or at least like a date-ish time for when you should be saving up your money. I don't do a lot of drops. I don't do a lot of collabs. I don't do a lot of things. I mean, in general, not that I don't want to give to you guys. I just understand how important your money is, and I want to honor that. But a really, 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 really cool company reached out to me. I won't spill all the beans yet. We got to give it some time. And we made something very cool together. And it should be coming out mid-March. The biggest teaser I'm going to give you is if you want to smoke with me on 420, then stay tuned for March. I know. That is like the biggest little like teaser I'm going to give you guys until I can fully reveal everything that we've been working on. It's been like 9-10 months of us working on this project together, and I genuinely am so excited for you guys to see it. This is the coolest thing I have done in my entire career. Like, the absolute coolest thing. Also, this is me like outreaching for just how you guys feel. So Spotify recently reached out to me to be partners. Not that they're like buying my podcast or I'm going to be a Spotify only podcast, nothing like that. Just like, hey girl, we would love to help you monetize. So I am curious how you guys feel about ads in podcasts. Not me sitting here with a microphone reading off an ad. I don't do a lot of those in general, but like mid-roll ads. I am not 100% sold on it. In my opinion, I would kind of rather have you guys subscribe to the Patreon and actually get content out of it. But also, this necessarily, like, a mid-roll isn't you giving money. It's just giving time. let me know how you feel about ad rolls, because Spotify was like, yeah, like we are now giving you the option to put ads in your podcast, and then you would get paid from the mid-rolls, the ads, the same way like YouTube will have mid-rolls. I'm on the fence about it. It's something to think about, just because like I don't make money off this podcast, period. And not that I'm like fiending or anything. I just genuinely do not want to interfere with the flow of you guys enjoying this podcast. And if that's going to turn you guys off, like that's it, quick and easy. Like, you know, I'm good, period. Like, as long as you guys are enjoying the content, that's all that matters to me. I don't want you guys to have to sit through ads. That's why I don't do a lot. But it is something that I'm kind of genuinely thinking about, especially because they offered the opportunity to me. Like, what if I put it at the very end, you know? After credits, I'm like, please just keep playing till the very end. Roll through one ad, you know, make me a little 20 cents or whatever it makes me. Or would you guys just prefer me not to do that and maybe subscribe to the Patreon instead? I don't know. I'm just not very ad centric. I would rather like do things for you guys, and we have so much fun over on the Patreon. I do extra episodes every week where I answer every single one of your questions. I'm not even kidding. Literally, I answer 35 to 40 questions a week on Thursdays. The same way that I upload a questionnaire on my Instagram, I upload a questionnaire on Patreon where you can all comment your question. There's no limit. You can literally type out. I've had people type out paragraphs, okay? I read through that whole entire thing. I give you a solid answer, and I do that for every single one of you guys on the Patreon. That is in the middle tier. The middle and the highest tier receives that, and then the lowest tier receives all of the text posts. So weekly inspiration, Sunday spirit, we do astrology updates, all of that jazz and more is in the lowest tier. But I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. This is just something I'm thinking about. And yes, something very exciting coming mid-March. Stay tuned. I literally, oh my God, I cannot wait. There's so much exciting things coming for you guys. I've been working very hard. But yeah, if you guys are like anti-ads, you don't want to hear them, you don't want mid-rolls, let me know below. Genuinely, this is me reaching out to hear how you feel about things, because I care about you guys, and I care about, you know, good content, period. I'm not here for a money grab. I'm here for a good time. Anyways, I love you all so much. I hope you guys all have the best Valentine's Day weekend. I hope you stay sane. I hope you stay sexy. If you want more from me, come join the Patreon. We have such a fun time there. Patreon.com/smokesesshotty. And if you don't know where to submit your questions, there's a bunch of new people listening to this podcast, which, hello, hi, happy to have you. But a few of you guys are like, where do I submit my questions? On my Instagram, Hannah Marlene. Every Sunday, I upload a questionnaire that is only open for 24 hours, and I post it a day before filming this. So these questions are raw, they are real, they are in tune with the universe and what the girlies have going on. But on my Instagram is where you can submit your question. You can DM me your call-in, a voice note. I'm hoping to do more call-ins soon. I feel like I fell off the call-in wagon, and I'm so sorry about that. But this podcast genuinely brings so much love and joy into my life, and I am so thankful for every single one of you guys for showing up for me every week, for showing up for yourself, for spreading the love, for just like, this community is such a loving and joyful community, and I really appreciate that about you guys, that we can just give and receive that to each other. I am so thankful for you guys and just the amazingness that we have created together. So with that being said, show yourself some love. Say I love you to somebody this week. Show up for somebody that needs it this week. That's what Valentine's Day is all about. There's love everywhere to be found. Open your eyes, look for it, seek it, spread it. But with that being said, I will see you all next week. Mwah.